And Tika is on the far side working with the fearless Katie, and she has a toque on, although so does it. You can't tell her apart by the toque, because so does... Anyways, moving on. Now, you will notice, of course, the trainers moving with the animals, and the animals moving with the trainers. That's, well, these animals are a little on the large side. And yes, it is true. If you happen to be called a beluga, it's usually not a compliment. It usually has to do with the fact that these animals are known for being rather roly-poly. And they do have a lot of fat or blubber. And of course, this blubber is very important if you live in the Arctic and you are warm-blooded. Because if you're a polar bear, well, you got fur. Obviously, if you're a whale, well, no, you don't. But up to 40 to 50% of these animals' body mass is actually made up of blubber. And if you're thinking, all right, well, look at Tika, she doesn't have that much. Well, no, not quite yet. But when she is her adult girth, she will have, if you stick out your thumb and your little finger, about that much blubber, thickness of fat on either side of her hips. So yes, that is quite a bit of blubber. However, they do have parts of their bodies that are not that blubberific. Their little pectoral fins or flippers, and also their tails. And that's one reason why we think that they're smaller, is to minimize the amount of heat that could potentially be lost from these areas, because yeah, similar to us, it's our fingers, our noses, our ears, not a lot of blubber on those areas, so if they're not covered, well, they get cold rather fast. And of course, if you are a big whale and you've got a little tail, well, you're probably not moving very fast. And, well, no, belugas are not known for being the fastest of the whales or dolphins out there, but they are still quite powerful, remarkably so. And if you watch, they can use those small tails to vault almost right out of the water. And Keela, who is the youngest of our adults, she is certainly very energetic and able to vault that blubber pretty much right out of the water. And if you think that she is wrapped up in a mattress of fat, yeah, there's some powerful muscles at work there. Now, as Keela did come up and out of the water, you will notice that's all right, she is a whale, but where is her dorsal fin? Because, yes, certainly if you're playing charades and people usually guess shark, but then dolphin, and, well, yeah, that's the dorsal fin. And while these animals don't have a really pronounced dorsal fin, they do have what's known as a dorsal ridge, which is kind of a hard, spine-like part of her back, and very good for crushing or crunching through the ice, certainly. But they are also very good at hiding in the ice because they don't have a really big dorsal. And while they don't, they are hunted by an animal that does. The Orcinus orca, or killer whale, the same ones that we have here. Transient killer whales, yes, they do go up to the Arctic and they do a little beluga hunting. However, whenever there's a lot of ice, well, they don't stick around because, well, that thing gets in the way. So, pros and cons, yes, you can hide in the ice, but what do you do if it's dark and it's really, really thick ice and you're underneath? I can't see anything. Well, these animals are known for having really good eyesight, but they're also very vocal animals. And during times of the year when it's really dark, they are known to live in a world of sound. And if you listen closely, every now and again on the wind here in Stanley Park, you can hear the belugas. That's it. As far as we know, these animals are the most vocal of any marine mammal, and certainly early Arctic explorers actually called them the canaries of the sea because they are capable of making a wide variety of noises. And you might be wondering, well, how is it that they learn these? How is Tika? What's going on here? Well, similar to people, they pick up sounds by copying the older adults. So it is interesting listening to Tika because, yes, it does sound like mimic of her mother and her grandmother, and yeah, that's essentially how they learn. Now, yes, these animals use vocals to communicate, but they are part of the group of animals that can use sound to navigate.